So it's Romans 8 and verse 36. As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long. We are counted as sheep for the slaughter, right? So we are counted as sheep to the slaughter. What does that mean, right? That means it's like sheep were designed to go to the slaughter, right? They're raised up, right? And then at the end, they're brought to the slaughter. They're slaughtered. They're cut up for pieces or whatever, the meat, and they're sold and eaten, etc. Right? And it's just like us, right? As people who follow the Lord, we're being built up spiritually, right? Just to go through the slaughter. You build up your love. That's going to get put through the test. Yeah. And we're going to take you through the ringer. We're going to see you're going to keep that love, right? Let's say you build up your mercy. You feel like your mercy is high, right? Well, you about to come through the ringer. We're going to see how if your mercy pans out, right? All the spiritual growth is not for show, right? You're going to be brought through a trial. You're going to be brought through a tribulation, right? It's not for show, right? We're counted as sheep to the slaughter. It says, what was that? It says, verse 37, nay, in all things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us. For I'm persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yahweh, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua our Lord, right? And you got to be 10 toes down like that, right? Understanding that and knowing, don't let anything take you from the love of Yahweh Yahushua. Don't let anything separate you from love, which is God, right? Because when you leave love, you leave God. When you turn from love, you turn from God, right? And when I say love, this is what I'm talking about. 1 Corinthians 13 and verse 1. Though I speak with the tongues of men and the tongues of angels, and have not charity, I am become as a sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. Right? So it doesn't matter how much languages you know, right? If you don't have love, which is charity, agape, if you don't have love, it's just noise. Right? It's just noise. It doesn't matter. Right? It says, and though I have the gift of prophecy, understanding all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains and have not charity, I am nothing. So you can have faith to move mountains. Right? It says, you can have all knowledge. You can understand prophecy. You can understand mysteries. But if you don't have love, you're nothing, which love is God. And it doesn't matter what you have on this earth. If you don't have God, you don't got nothing, right? You don't have nothing. It says, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, so you can give up everything you got to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, so you can give up your body, you can die for the Lord, right? And have not charity, it profited me nothing. Right? So you can go ahead and say, man, I'm gonna die for God. But if you don't have love, you're not really dying for God. Because the only way to die for God truly is to love. Right? When somebody rewards you evil and you give them good, you just die for God. Right? The only way to die for God truly is through love. Right? Physically dying is not dying for God. The only way to die for God is through love. That's it. It says, I'm going to jump down, 1 Corinthians 13 and verse, matter of fact, keep reading, verse 4. Charity, so love suffereth long, right? So love is long suffering, right? It's kind, which kind is being good without cause. Charity envieth not, so you're not going to be no envy, right? Charity vaunteth not herself up, so you're not going to be puffed up. It says, did not behave, vaunteth not herself, is not puffed up. Verse 5, does not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, right? And that's another big one with love. You're not easily provoked. Because Satan is running around, he's going to poke you, right? He's going to have that little stick, poking you, see if he can get you agitated or whatever, right? And if you follow God, it's going to be hard to get you provoked. It should be very hard to provoke somebody who follows God. That should be very, very hard, right? That should not be like a light, easy thing. It should be very hard to provoke somebody who loves God. It says, thinketh no evil. And that's another thing. Charity, love, thinketh no evil. Right? And a part of thinking no evil, what is that? Right? So you're not thinking about doing bad things to people. Right? You're not thinking about bad things happening to people like you want it to happen. Right? Because you got a lot of people who say, oh yeah, I believe, right? I'm a believer. But then turn around, and then what happens? They're wishing bad on people, right? Oh, I can't wait till God take care of this person. Take care of, and they saying take care of in a negative aspect. They're not saying take care of like, man, I hope he repents, right? They're thinking evil thoughts, right? They thinking evil thoughts. It says, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoice in the truth. And the truth is love, right? So love rejoices in love. It doesn't rejoice in evil. It doesn't rejoice in iniquity, right? So you're not going to rejoice when something bad happened to a person. That shouldn't be a party or a celebration for you, right? Whether it's a friend or a foe. That shouldn't be a party. At the end, right? At the end, King Saul was the enemy to David. But when King Saul died, King David wasn't celebrating. He was upset, right? He was hurt. Look at Samuel. When the Lord told Samuel that God was going to turn from him, right? What happened? Samuel was crying. He was upset by that, right? He was upset by it. It says, verse 7, beareth all things, believeth all things, hope all things. See, that's another way to love. I mean, that's another way. That's another way that you have to understand what love is, right? You gotta understand that love hope all things, and that's important, right? Because when you look at a person like, man, this person is hopeless, they're done, right? They can't make a comeback from this. That's not the right path, right? Because you gotta understand that the path that we were on, right? If you consider yourself a servant of God, repentant, right? The path we were on didn't look good, right? It didn't look redeemable. I know that the things that I was doing before I came to God wasn't good things. I used to eat pork every day, right? It was a lot of things I already naturally did to serve God unknowingly, but it was also things of the dietary law that I didn't really care about, right? At times I took vengeance, right? But the whole thing is, you gotta understand that, like you say, when you break one, you break them all, right? So even though all sin are not equal, in a technical sense they are equal, because again, you break one, you break them all, right? And on top of that, you can't look down a person, well, this person is a sinner this way, I'm a sinner this way, so I can come back, but he can't come back. I can make it, but he can't. Anybody can make it, right? And you're not in the spirit of the Lord if you don't think anybody can make it. Because what? Love, hope, all things. And that's part of that hope, right? It says, endureth all things. Charity never faileth. So you can never go wrong with love. Love never fails, right? it says, but whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. So a prophecy can fail. Whether there be tongues, so languages, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. So there are languages that have been here that are forgotten, right? There's knowledge that has been here and that are forgotten, right? They used to have the knowledge to bring people back from the dead. I don't see them doing that no more, right? But with that, I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua. Shalom.